welcome back to the Wrestle Show once again. Thanks for joining me. As always, hit that like and subscribe button down below, and I'll get you right to the news of the day. A little bit of interesting news coming out of the Bray Wyatt camp as of the last few days. His wife Samantha, he's been separated from since March of last year, has filed for divorce and is claiming that he's been having an affair with ring announcer JoJo Offerman of the WWE. She claimed his soon-to-be ex-wife also claims that he walked out on her and their two children back in March of last year, which led to the separation. I don't know if the part about him abandoning the family is true or not. If it is, it kind of looks kind of poorly on him, I would think. And explains why also in the story he had asked for an injunction to keep the separation and divorce quiet from the public and the media in general. Now, the interesting thing was, after all this came out, JoJo Offerman and Bray Wyatt appeared at Raw together. They arrived at Raw Monday night together, as a couple. So it kind of puts a little bit of validity out there, at least to the terms of, the adultery and things like that. Now, as for the walking out on his children, things like that, I don't know if that's true. We don't have any information whether or not that is actual fact or not. That could also just be a disgruntled, soon to be ex-wife, or it could be absolutely true and Bray Wyatt could be acting like a little piece of shit. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's true. But we do know we do know that he apparently has been in a relationship with this JoJo Offerman, and they arrived at Raw together on Monday. But in the end, we gotta give them a little bit of privacy, let them sort this thing out. I can understand why Bray Wyatt would have wanted an injunction to keep it quiet, to keep it private, but apparently his soon-to-be ex-wife does not want it that way. And apparently asking for the injunction is what led to her, making putting it out there that he had been having an affair with this JoJo Offerman ring announcer from the WWE. Also, in other news, T.J. Perkins has apparently changed his name to just TJP. Some of the rumors going around is that Vince didn't like the name Perkins because it reminded him of some restaurant named Perkins he didn't like. I don't know if that's true. It sounds a bit far-fetched to assume that every time that the crowd heard the name T.J. Perkins, that it automatically assumed about some restaurant that probably only a few people, a handful of people really know about. I sure know I don't know about them here in East Texas, really. So who knows? Maybe up north, northeast, and on other coasts, maybe it matters. Here, I don't really see anything like that, and I don't really think that would be the cause for Vince McMahon to change somebody's name on the show. But T.J. Perkins tweeted out yesterday when it was brought to his attention that people were making these rumors, and his claim was that he just asked for his name to be TJP. It was that simple. There was nothing else to it. He wanted his name to just be TJP, and in the end, with the whole people doing the whole acronyms and initials and stuff like that for everything, it kind of makes sense. And for his character, I think it will work out. But that said, it's never really good though to change your name. When the fans already know you by something. But the having his name just be TJP instead of TJ Perkins really doesn't change anything. Not to mention, really, people have called him TJP since, the Cruiserweight division came back, and got to going. So, not much going on there. And last bit of news, also pertaining to the Cruiserweight division still, Austin Aries did an interview the other day and was asked about different aspects of it. And one thing was he made a comment about how the fans and people need to give 205 Live a chance and give it some time and be patient with the product and allow the product to to get developed, basically. he's saying that you got to give the product time, we got to give it chance for characters to build and things like that. And my issue isn't necessarily the character building. I understand that 205 Live is new. I understand that it needs its time to grow, and it needs its time to become as good as say NXT has become. The problem with 205 Live that I see is the wrestling. The wrestling is no different than the heavyweights. It's exactly the same. You don't have very many high flyers anymore. In the cruiserweight division, which the cruiserweights throughout the past have been known for. Like your Rey Mysterios, your Tajiris, your even some other extents. Your Jeff Hardy, for example, type wrestlers that did rope moves and were a little more risky, I guess. That's kind of what I expect from a cruiserweight match. I'm not getting that very often. The very few people that do are like Neville, and Neville's of course an awesome guy. Austin Aries is pretty good, but he's not a high flyer really. He's more of just a plain grappler, which is fine, but it's not what I expect out of a cruiserweight match, and I don't think it's what a lot of other fans expect out of a cruiserweight match. But I think he's got a point. The fans do need to give 205 Live a chance. And I think the WWE itself needs to give 205 Live a chance. And by giving 205 Live a chance, I mean it needs to follow Raw. It doesn't need to be following the show that it has nothing to do with. If the cruiserweights were going to be exclusive to SmackDown, being on Thursdays on the network afterwards would make sense. But I truly believe down the stretch, I believe the best thing for 205 Live, for its growth, for the fans, and for everybody involved, is going to be the fact that it needs to take place in that third hour of Monday Night Raw, where it just switches over completely to 205 Live and it's not Raw anymore. Because obviously, based on the ratings, Raw is not doing well in that third hour. The third hour always seems to drop off unless they've got something huge planned, like a Goldberg or a Brock Lesnar or something like that scheduled for that time slot. In the late, especially towards the end of the day or the end of the show. But normally, that third hour of Raw is very boring, has nothing going for it, and the ratings tend to drop. People tend to start switching channels because, first off, 3 hours of watching one show is a bit much. And 2 hours seems to work out just fine. Check out SmackDown. Its ratings seem to do just fine because it's not getting pulled down by that third hour. And the last Raw ratings, showed the first 2 hours pulling a 3.11, and then the last hour pulls under 2. That shows you that third hour needs to be perked up. And maybe turning it into 205 Live, if they could work out a contract with USA for that, I think one could save the time slot, but two could also save Raw and help its ratings, which in the end would also help, ad revenue and other things of the sort. But that said, that's really all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please hit the like and subscribe button down below. We could really use your support around here. The channel's not doing too great. We only got 5 subscribers. I'm only getting about 2 or 3 views a video. I'm really trying here, but if you have any ideas of what I could do to better stories, to better what I'm doing, please let me know down in the comments. I am doing what I can, but apparently I'm not doing it right. So please give me all the pointers you can down below, and have a great day.